Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the Soupy Air. So, I had an interesting conversation with a good friend of mine during the holidays. So, we've always talked about traveling, flying versus driving somewhere, and I've taken a train places and stuff when I was just real little. Um, and I always think about air travel, because my good friend he sells memberships, and one of the things we always talk about is how much of a headache it is flying somewhere, and having to meet your destinations. You might get a long layover. I spent, last year I spent a night in O'Hare International Airport sleeping on the floor. That was not very comfortable, and I was not very happy. That was kind of brutal. They do have motels in some of these places where it's some ungodly amount, like $50 an hour to, just to rent a bed in an airport. I think that's kind of highway robbery. But so many people like to travel via airplane. And me, I've been all over the country. I've been all over the world as well. I like the idea of just hopping in a vehicle and kind of going in my own pace, just being in my own zen little area. Now, during the height of the pandemic, I flew to Fiji, and that was great. I had a great time. It was fun, but you lose a lot of time flying, whereas obviously you can't you can't drive there. But I went to Vermont for 2 weeks, and I just camped out. Me and my girlfriend at the time, we drove her car up there, and we camped out in a lodge, and it was great for like 2 weeks, and there was nobody around, and it was just kind of very zen to be at nature, one with nature. Very comfortable, I had a great time. I don't remember having as much fun, and some of the greatest trips I've ever taken, I've lived in other countries and stuff. Some of the best trips I've ever taken were always road trips. I've been around the United States, once when I was a kid, once in 2018, where I took my Honda Ridgeline and my camper out west, and it was kind of around the United States. I didn't hit the West Coast. And then I think like 2 years ago I did a long trip in a van that I rented, Chrysler Pacifica, and I did 9,500 miles around the United States. And that was actually really fun. One of the greatest trips I've ever taken. To be honest with you, it lasted a month and a half, like 7 weeks, and it was great. I wasn't pressured to be at certain places at a certain point. I kind of just floated, and that's how I like to travel. When I'm going somewhere, it's not so have to be at this destination by this time. If you miss your flight, I don't know if you've ever missed a flight, but that is a royal headache. Sitting next to somebody on an airplane where you don't want to be next to the person because of whatever reasons. Just rude passengers and stuff like that. Having to deal with all that is kind of frustrating. And I know people, when I go on vacation, I want to relax. And, you go to work and you stress yourself out. And then you get on an airplane, you become more stressed just to go into a stress-free environment for like 5 or 6 days or 7 days. And then you start to unwind. And then you get more stressed out because you have to think about coming back. Then you come back and you're back home at that job. So you never get a chance to really relax. And for me, if you're going to go somewhere, you've got to spend at least 2 weeks there. Now, my job, I'm lucky at my job. I'm just, I'll probably put this and make another video about it. But I get the summers off, and I get a lot of holidays off, which is great. And it's kind of more laid back at my work, which is nice. So yeah, I get the summer off, which is, 3 months of just kind of hanging out. I still get paid, not very much at all. I don't make very much money at all, but that's the thing, is that I like to kind of go around and travel and do my thing in the summertime when it's most beautiful. And a lot of jobs don't give you that freedom to have, summer months off, which kind of sucks. So anyway, that's my take on, areas of travel and stuff like that. I do want to go on a cruise sometime. I've never been on a cruise. My friend says that they're a lot of fun, but they are kind of unhealthy. You can eat as much food as you want. And the food there is not very, healthy for you. And if anybody gets sick on a cruise, it gets brutal apparently. So there's that. I've never been on a cruise. I've been on boats and stuff like that, but never a cruise. So yeah, I hope this has helped you out. Thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing to my channel. I appreciate all of your guys' support. Thank you so much, and make sure you guys take care.